All right, what's up? Welcome everybody, and I hope you enjoyed that little intro there. Let's not start that over. I want to set this down to the side real quick here as I get everything ready to go. Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, BisuDagger. We're going into another weekly. Yes, that's right. We're going into a weekly, and this is going to be number 10. Can you believe it? We've hit our first milestone, number 10, and I'm excited. I wanted to do something that was a little less formatted because I've been doing so much formatting in my previous casts. You know, this is the set series that you're going to watch. It's a lot of current StarCraft, and I love to watch old StarCraft films too. And so, first I want to tell you guys, thank you. I'm sorry I was gone for a week. I was taking a sabbatical, and I went to New York City with my wife, and it was a lot of fun. We realized that, one, it must have been a French holiday, because the entire city was just 90% French people, which is just, I don't know, a weird coincidence, because I've been there several times before, and I have never noticed how many French people there were in New York City. And one of my coworkers who lives in New York City when he was growing up said, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So I think there must have been a holiday. Otherwise, those people were friendly, which was rare, because New York City, oh my God. If you guys haven't been through New York City, they are rough on people who are smaller than them. Now, my wife, she's just an inch or so over 5 feet, so she's a very small woman. She gets knocked around like it's nothing. People walk through, don't pretend she doesn't exist. And so she basically has to line up behind me because I have these wide shoulders. And I come in at 6'3", so she can just kind of hunker down behind me, and I just train through all the New Yorkers like a bull through a china shop. And that's how we were able to make it through all the ins and outs of Manhattan. And you know what? I went to New York City a long time ago. Did you know that you actually have to wait in line now to get to the top of the Empire State Building? Blows my mind. You have to wait like an hour to get up there. And on busy days, it could take several hours just to get through like the initial screening line where they take you through security first. You know, let me tell you, a couple decades ago, there wasn't a fence around it. You could just jump off. And in fact, there was a woman who tried to commit suicide by jumping off the 81st floor. And she landed on the 80th floor. She got gusted back into the building. What kind of suicide is that? So this woman, okay, I'm doing it. Holy shit, I'm back alive again. Yeah, that's a story to tell. So what do you do after that? Do you go ahead and jump a second time? Do you say, well, I made it one ledge. Maybe I could just kind of keep hopscotching down until I get to the bottom. I think this lady was in the survived category, and they were able to bring her back down before she did get herself worked up for another jump. So that was a little bit about the Empire State Building. The Statue of Liberty was beautiful. Now, given that's where you should find the French people, and we did find a lot of French there, I loved it. The Statue of Liberty was fun. I had never been there before. Got to go up on the pedestal. Got a little bit higher than everybody else, so I could just kind of look down and say, ha! I did something more than you regular peasants down there. So that was a lot of fun. And I enjoyed the park, and I saw Fiddler on the Roof. Anybody see Fiddler on the Roof? That's a good one. So, yeah, I'm getting a little chatty as people start to stream in. So welcome to this cast. And I have one little bomb I want to throw down on you guys if you haven't been to Team Liquid yet, and for some reason you just go straight to my stream. Guys, J-Dong is retired from StarCraft 2. Yes, he's back. He's back. We know he's 424. Go to the J-Dong Back to Brood War thread with all the conspiracy theories. We know he's back. He's so close to admitting that it's him. And we need him back because Flash, for the first time ever on Fish, has recorded an 80% win rate. A plus 80% win rate in all categories, TvP, TvT, TvZ, and you know what? He has a winning ratio against all of the top players on on IC Cup. So that's insane. Flash was playing so well. How do we get someone up on that tier? Now, given Bisu dominated last month, and he was 80% in two categories and just under 80% in the final category. So he's right there too, and he posted another 100% win rate versus Protoss. So that's absolutely awesome too. KT Flash, what's up? Welcome to the cast. So this is what the format's going to be today. We're going to be going back in time. Time music. Yes, we're going back in time, and we're going to be watching TvPs from 2002, 2004, 2008, and 2009. And I didn't want to get any closer because that's kind of where the initial... this is all foreigners, by the way. This is when the core foreigners started to drop off because of the StarCraft 2 transition that was there. We know a lot of those players wanted to jump over and see if they could have success on that one. So we're going way back, though, to the initial... a TvP that I could bring up here, which is going to be Rekrul versus Artosis. It's a WCG US replay on Legacy of Char. This is played October 7th, 2002. Ooh, there we go. So now we've gone back ourselves in time. Everybody get yourselves ready for this. Let me see here. Jadon returning just to get crushed by Flash again. Yeah, it's possible that is what is going to happen. But we do need more Zergs on the scene because apparently they just can't close the deal in this month. KT Flash asking to cast with me. Thursday! Schedule this on Thursday. You needed to let me know earlier. I've got a whole thing going. I drank half a Mountain Dew. This cast is ready to go. Guys, I'm so excited to be back here. And here we go. Yeah, and of course, you know what? This is despite Flash for the win anyway, because everybody's really upset that Flash is posting such good scores. They only want Bisu to dominate. And I have big news. Okay, so Flash for the win. To address you one last thing. Next Tuesday, we'll do it next Tuesday. I promise you, I'll get you on here. I'll get my GigaNet up and running. Yeah, I have faster speed internet now, so I can handle having another person on my stream at the same time here. Okay, but guys, I have big news next Tuesday. Big news. We're gonna do something fun to hallmark next Tuesday's news. I can't tell you how exciting it's gonna be, but I can't wait. I'm gonna have to think of probably the best games I could bring up for you guys. Oh yeah, next Tuesday is election day, so that's pretty great too. So let's go ahead, figure out where these players are, what they're doing here, and we have Artosis here, our Terran player spawning at the bottom right of WCG's Legacy of Char. Meanwhile, down at the bottom left, we're gonna have Rekrul, our Protoss player. And those of you who for those of you guys who don't know, Rekrul's name backwards is Lurker, which is kind of ominous why he's not a Zerg player and he's playing Protoss here. But yeah, Rekrul backwards is Lurker, and I don't know. Some people may have just missed that or not looked in a mirror lately. But that's exactly that little knowledge bomb. I don't have too much more of those. Back in 2002, what else can I think of? Back in the day, these players, they would have to fly to Korea if they wanted to play in some of the big name tournaments. And they would compete in malls. It was all about the shopping malls. And they would get crowded with thousands and thousands of people. And it's probably the most hilarious thing you'll ever see. But it got a lot of attraction. Everybody wanted to go to the mall anyway, so they're having a great time buying the foods, buying some new clothes, you know, wearing Jinko jeans while they watch Boxer crush some noobs. So that was a lot of fun. But here's the history of TvP. So let's start calling out these build orders. We see that there's a barracks down here, a quick to gas for Artosis. So it looks like he is probably going to be going towards a mech style build here. And I wonder if mech has been pretty much discovered as the go-to build in TvP. Not many players using Bio except for maybe Boxer to do some pretty crazy dropship wars against Protoss players. But we can see that the Cybernetics core coming up too. And right now, Rekrul's just foregoing any sort of zealot on the map to just continue to pump out probes here and get to his Dragoon. No. Oh, he's going a quick Robo here too. So maybe he will try and go for some Reaver Tech against Artosis. Artosis, a great player back in the day. He was a really solid Terran player. And obviously you guys know him from his casting career, but he did make his name as a competitive player. It wasn't that he just got into casting right away. No, he made his mark. I wonder, did he win a couple USA, or I'm sorry, North American WCGs? I'm not entirely sure, but I would imagine that he at least has one under his belt, because he got into the scene so early and dominated during that time. We can see that the range is coming up for the Dragoons, trying to make them a little bit more enhanced here. This Robo is going to be finished up very shortly. This SCV scouting out around the map. I guess this is a 4-player map. And let's go ahead, because you guys don't know the map, and I'm not very familiar with the map. Let's pause here. Let's reveal the entire map. So it is a symmetrical map where you can have 4 bases up here. It looks like we have islands. Yes, these are islands at the 6 and 12 o'clock location. And yeah, a couple other bases spread out that you can take without having to lift a command center or shuttle a probe. Not bad so far. So we're seeing a double fact play. And I wonder, I don't think fake double was actually popular. And it's such a subtle difference from 2-fact. Well, right now we are just seeing this is an opening with the 2-fact. The machine shop not even spinning right now. I guess it was just so we could get the faster second factory here, or the upgrades have already completed and I just did a bad job of looking at the screen. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what I may have missed. Okay, so looking inside this base here, observers. So fast observers here, and I guess that's okay. There's not vulture pressure yet. We can see that it's tank first for Artosis. So getting the observer is always nice. It's going to play out through the rest of the game. But he actually could have done something fun, like go for Reavers. And although Reaver Micro, not until Bisu and Stork era, was really, really prominent, was really good. I know that maybe people will argue that now Raw or Reach were able to do some fun things with Reavers, but really it wasn't until those dragons came onto the scene that they started dominating better. Alright, we can see that another command center is coming up. Meanwhile, this wall is still sitting here, only had taken a little bit of damage. Nothing too significant here. And this tank isn't even in a position to guard down the ramp here. So I wonder if it's sitting here in case there's this anticipation of a drop and he doesn't want to have it sieged up somewhere out of position. Meanwhile, we can see a early scouting engineering bay has already made it to the top left. The probe count only up to 23, not an additional nexus yet, and you typically see at this point and TvP, the Protoss player, at least on the more balanced maps of current days, the Protoss player would take of a nexus after the first gateway, or at least most certainly after the second gateway. For Rekrul to go for the robotics facility before he got a second nexus puts him behind in economy because he's not making enough probes. And even when he does take a second nexus, he's going to be really, really far behind on workers. Meanwhile, it's okay that Artosis is lower in the worker count per se at this point in the game, because he does have the second command center coming down, but we do see that it is common with Terran players even today to sit a little while on one base before pushing out and taking the second. But again, you know, even with the basic siege expand, this command center would have been up earlier. So we're seeing that is why Artosis has the lead right now without any damage being done. He's just ahead. He has the earlier command center, and what does Rekrul have that is going to even himself in this game? 8 Dragoons. 8 Dragoons may be enough because they can just storm down, take this tank right away. But a couple nicely placed siege tanks, maybe one up here on the high ground. If Artosis was able to play with the future meta, it's about, you know, lining up your supply depots here and trying to block off these choke locations as Protoss would try and come in for harassment. But this is a wide choke, really wide. In fact, the best choke blocking might be right here, but you can't actually build on this area. So still, there's a lot of consideration that has to go into these games for these players if they want to do any defensive building. Still a little put off. 31 probes only, and there's still only 2 gateways here. So third gateway is coming down now, and you would just assume that if a Protoss player put down a 4th gateway without building a Nexus, that it would be considered an all-in on-one based build. You've already committed too many resources, and you should just go all out on building units at that point. But the extra Nexus down here is going to ensure, okay, Rekrul, you are working towards an expansive build. The Citadel is coming pretty late too, and maybe that's going to be to get some High Templar tech out, or DTs, because I feel like speed on Zealots isn't going to be the best unit. I mean, you do want speed Zealots. Actually, speed Zealots would be great. Scratch that, because we haven't seen any Vultures, and this is where you have to. This is the real Artosis versus Rekrul, in case you guys were wondering. So, generally, what you would be thinking at this point in a current day TvP is that there would be Vultures, and the Spider Mine tech would have been done long ago, and the Spider Mines would just kind of lay out this area, and as Zealots dove in, they'd be killed off really quickly. But instead, you have just tanks, and the Zealots can reach the tanks and melee DPS the tanks down really quickly. And it always brings me back to that one game in the Pro League Finals of Flash versus Bisu, where we saw Bisu had only Zealots, but Flash only had tanks and no Vultures available. And while the tank army looked massive, the tanks went down so quickly because speed Zealots, without anything blocking them, can do a ton of face-to-face damage. Alright, looks like that engineering bay made it back into this base. The starport has already been added up too. But we don't see anything coming out of this. Well, there's one dropship. Okay, where is that dropship? See that there's a marine sitting around here. We're gonna have to be vigilant, guys. Make sure that we do not miss the dropship, as it has 4 Vultures inside. Oh, this could be dirty here. Artosis coming for the move out. Yeah, guys, this is the real Artosis, but this is a replay from 2002. So this is a little bit of a throwback. This is the real Rekrul too. Apparently, you guys don't want to question that. It's okay. We love Rekrul, and if you guys know about the lounge, and if you don't, you didn't hear about it from me, you can find him there, as he does frequent the lounge often. If you want to find out about the lounge, you have to try harder on Team Liquid. I promise you, you can get there one day. Okay, so these Zealots still not up to anything. This dropship has let the Vultures down. And maybe he was just kind of elevating the elevatoring these Vultures down to this lower level here, just to get them there quicker. Everything has been detected here, though. The observer's in a pretty good spot. This turret is just out of range here, so not too bad. And the fun thing is that there's still patches in StarCraft 1 that occurred after 2002. I don't know. I don't believe I can remember the final patch date, but there were still a few quirks that needed to be worked out into this game. It wasn't perfectly balanced map-wise or unit-wise back in 2002. That just puts a blemish on all Boxer's results, doesn't it? No, man. That guy was a god regardless of whatever the imbalances were. Alright, so these tanks are still trying to creep themselves forward. I would say that my review of this TvP so far is that it's kind of like a 6 out of 10. I mean, these players are certainly getting their units. They're certainly getting their expansions. But there is nothing coming about in this game. This is so passive. Both these players could have taken tons of expansions at this point because of how just refusing these players are to attack anybody else. Alright, thank you guys for coming into the chat. Seems like it's starting to fill out. Oh, let's look at this double dropship down at the bottom. Artosis, is he going to start to poke? Will he draw first blood? Oh, look at this. I love that. These Rambo Dragoons sitting here on the top ridge here. Gonna block off these dropships right away. Artosis is gonna bring them back. And whatever damage we thought might have occurred in the beginning of this game, this is the most exciting thing in the game right now. So we're just gonna watch them. No, let's go ahead. We're still, guys, this is history in the making of TvPs. We're back in 2002. So given we know that it's gonna be slower paced, slower expansions, you know, actually I would say that it's more factory heavy before expansions, because a lot of these players just tried to go off like 2 base builds and then late game get a 3rd base. It's so slow. Not a single armory up yet. We're just seeing the first one now. Whereas I remember a year ago, we were watching Iris go for a fast 2 armories off 2 bases, and meanwhile double expanding to a 3rd and 4th. It's just such a different day and age that we see from these players. Okay, so Artosis is showing what early day Vulture Micro looks like here. He's got a decent amount of Spider Mines laid out. The Vulture's trying to poke in and prod these Dragoons, maybe bait them into getting some kills off, but the Observer within range is going to see these mines and they will get picked off. We gotta be careful though. These tanks have their nice range, gonna be able to hit on the rim of these Spider Mines as units try to move in. We're looking at 13 Zealots, 19 Dragoons. The tank count is up to 23. Dear God, I gotta give the favor to Artosis again. He's starting to do his Doom push. 138 supply to 148. But another expansion's coming down, and this is actually starting to look more Protoss-esque. More expansions in the mid game. Try and get your economy as full and flowing as possible, because you know that this Terran mech army is going to do this slow death push across and eventually destroy you if you don't have the economy to re-macro. Okay, these Zealots aren't focusing down really well. In fact, that was 5 Zealots. 5 Zealots that got wiped out trying to take out that turret. So I'd say that's one major mistake right there. Just a complete mineral sink. And this siege tank has got to feel like a hero. All these siege tanks doing a pretty good job. You can see 6 total. Addressing Arbiters. Yeah, Arbiters really came late game, and you got like 1 or 2 of them. So we do see that the Arbiter is on its way, and it will be able to join the battle. But it's just a late game unit. It's just something that doesn't seem to be as necessary in these older style TvPs. But of course, once Protoss players really learned how to use them effectively, it totally changed the game here. But still, you know what? These Spider Mines, immune to invisible units, gonna still be able to get some kills off. That was a stack of Storms there, and while it did take out a tank, I'm actually pretty unhappy with those Storms because they weren't spread out quite enough. You can see that Artosis is playing so clinically though. He's laying out his turrets very well. He's got just a straight contain across this half of the map. 2 tanks on the high ground here. We've got Vultures and Spider Mines in this cave over here. And now we can see that Rekrul is trying to overcome this by building more gateways at the second main at the top left location. He's got a decent amount of gateways, but still it's not going to be enough. He's got to make sure he is constantly macroing out of them, because he needs to squeeze as many units as he can out of not that many gateways. For 4 bases, I would hope that you would have more than the 6 gateways that he has here. We'll say 8. We'll give him those 2 at the top. Okay, but meanwhile, these tanks, again, the tank count's up to 31 now. And so even though there's been a few tank kills, 31 is just an astronomical number. We haven't seen any science vessels, but there hasn't been a need for science vessels in this game. The Arbiter really hasn't shown anything too scary. And in fact, it's still just 1 Arbiter on the map. You can see that it takes a long time to build Arbiters, and if he's not building another one, he's not going to be getting another one before Artosis closes this game out. You can just kind of see how this is slowly shrinking and shrinking in the favor of Artosis. And look at this. So Archons were actually morphed here out of these High Templar. So all those High Templar that had been building up the energy aren't even going to be able to use their Storms because they've just been wasted. This is terrible now, because with the nice lineup here and good terrain that Artosis can use to his advantage, there's no way that the Archons are going to meet the tanks before their range just takes them out. Oh! Not good for the shuttle. Meanwhile, look over here. The Dragoons are still here. Is he going to go for it? No, he's actually going to lose his drop ships. Oh, Artosis. Meanwhile, oh, the recall, it's occurred. Excuse me. It happened. Rekrul throwing out some mad style here, bringing his units inside the main base, going for this massive attack. And Artosis went for the distraction drop here. But the Zealots they're picking off units inside this base. Artosis may just decide to unsiege and push in and possibly go for a base trade in this game. I don't know. This is getting crazy, guys. All the production facilities are going to get taken out. If Rekrul can do that and then start doing efficient trades against the Artosis army, Rekrul might be able to win this game. This is exactly what he needed to be able to take over this main base. A solid recall and not a lot of turrets. That's another thing you can note, is that Artosis was very turret light inside of his main base. He did not prepare well for the recall. Oh man! All right, it looks like this will finally get cleaned up. And when you look at this, it's the count is 137 to 122. So, I mean, Rekrul's still in this. He's maintained a decent probe count. The Zealots are moving in here and basically moving and facing off on these tanks so well right now. The tank count is down 14 tanks now. 15 went down from 31 to 16. This is incredible. It's almost been completely halved by Rekrul now. Oh, Rekrul, you gotta watch out. The probe's getting taken out from these tanks on the low ground. This is beastly play and a good counterattack by Artosis, trying to even out the game here. We can see that an Archon Ball along with 2 Zealots are going to come over here to try and take out this tank. Oh boy! Oh, this is just bad. That turret in such a perfect location. The Spider Mine! The Spider Mine hits that tank, takes everything out, goes for the suicide, and that Zealot does get the cleanup here. Meanwhile, an additional command center coming up. All right, we're 20 minutes into our first TvP, guys. You are back in 2002, if you did not know. Now look at this. You know, none of these are on fire. You don't have to worry about Artosis losing any of his factories. He's still in a pretty safe position. Now he's almost completely mined out this natural base. These SCVs need to go and start just long distance mining from here, if anything, because we can see that this mineral only location here is only going to last so long. Meanwhile, no main base minerals. Natural base looking low for Rekrul. Third mining pretty good here. And he's had this natural for a while, but those 2 tanks were so deadly, taking out a ton of probes. Meanwhile, another huge move out here. The army's been reamassed. 160 supply. So Rekrul somehow still managing to keep behind supply. Oh my god! Oh, the probes! The probes! Rekrul. Oh. He is not having a good day with his workers here. The probe count getting down to 50 now. And you want to have that worker count between 60 and 65 in the late game if you can maintain it. Some Protoss players these days will even get it up into the 70s because they know that shenanigans like this can occur. Meanwhile, oh my god, another run by of units or recall. I don't know. The Arbiter's somewhere around here. I just don't see it cloaking into these units, but it looks like a significant amount of units have been brought over to start clearing out this area. Oh, these SCVs, they're going down so quickly. The Zealot's doing a ton of damage here, and it's actually forced Artosis to bring his tanks back. He is pulling back the pressure here. He's trying to manage 2 locations at a time, but Rekrul is not making it easy for him. These Zealots looking for anything else they can distract and kill at this time. What a game so far. This is starting to pick up. Whoa! Whoa! Hallucinated Zealots, guys. Hallucinations. Oh, we've seen it all. I love you, 2002. Thank you. When was the last time you saw hallucinations in a match? This is awesome. And now they're running in here. The SCV is coming in for the defense. They're having to help attack here. The count is down to 110. These hallucinations possibly paying off. It could be an intimidation tactic too. Artosis seeing twice the army that Rekrul really has. Wow, wow, wow. What a game. You can see the command center didn't finish here. He did build another command center here and another command center here. So the economy has the potential to take off. Still 47 SCVs, so not too many SCVs were taken out. The 17 siege tank count is still really strong here. Let's see, 7 Dragoons, 13 Zealots. No Dark Templars on the map, but we see that 4 High Templar are still around here too. So more hallucination shenanigans can occur if need be. Oh, come on, come on. Hallucinations, get the energy. Let's do this. One of the High Templar getting taken out right away. On Decent Storm, he is at least going to be getting a tank. Did he get, yeah, it looks like he got the edge of that tank too. So some nice fire right there. No mining at this third base anymore here. Let's look at the bottom. We do have a dropship filled with 2 tanks. I guess Artosis has forgotten about those 2 babies down there in the bottom. The Zealots moving forward. We do have a Terran dropship. SCV drop. How deadly indeed. Let's look in the middle of the map. A few more units coming down, streaming into this location here. This is a constant assault by Rekrul, who just wants to continue to push back Artosis. Artosis sitting on 81 supply now. He does have mining here. He has a ton of mining, and Rekrul is going to have to identify that. It looks like for the first time, we're really seeing that Rekrul has the lead. He can win this game. And look what I said earlier about the 73 probes. This is why you get the 73. It's just a solid number. And so he is going to be floating around with a super high worker count. And this is going to pay off hugely for him, especially since he has that additional Nexus coming here. And there's no Vulture harassment coming on the way. I believe that this command center was canceled. We're going to give that to Artosis. We'll give him that 400 regardless of whether he got it or not. The spider mine's cleared out now too. All these turrets are gone. Remember, there's a beautiful sim city of turrets and tanks. That one recall that did all the damage in here was enough to really shake things up and set Artosis off his winning path. I think otherwise this would have been an easy GG for him. All he had to do was build a couple more turrets inside of his main base and he would have had that game. Alright. We are 25 minutes into this game. We have a stream of units heading up towards the top right. I think that Rekrul can finish the game off right here if he gets a nice push in and kills off all these SCVs. Finally, we're going to see that SCV count get below 47. Yes, it is tanking. All the SCV workers getting killed off for Artosis. He is going to end up losing this command center here. It doesn't matter if he lifts it. There's no point. The Dragoons will kill it. But the ceremonial lift does occur anyway. Look at that. Nice little rock cave. I love these old maps. And of course the Ragnasaur critter is the best. It's just kind of like a random, it looks like Gumby got smashed onto the map. Alright, GG! So that's going to be it for game number 1. Artosis versus Rekrul. And Rekrul is the winner. So back in 2002, we'll say that Protoss is superior to Terran. Alright. Let me take a quick water break. I know this was a long one, and I want to get through all 4 if I can. I haven't seen these replays. I don't know how long they last. And today is just a fun, brief history of TvP. And if I enjoy this, then maybe I'll do a part 2, and we'll watch even more TvP. But there's been a ton of TvZ lately. So just a lot of Zerg in general. And so I felt like we needed to see some Terran versus Protoss. Alright, let's load scene 4. Bam. Okay. We've got ElkY versus Legionnaire. And let me see here. I have my little game list cheat sheet. Alright, and if you guys want to know more or watch my previous cast, there's a BisuDagger and Caster Friends thread. It's been mostly me, but I do want to get some co-casters in. I promise I'll try and add them in if we can. Oh, I have something interesting for you guys before we go into the next game. Do you want to make money? Oh, that's a good hook, isn't it? It's a good hook. If you want to make money, because AJ's just said, I hate what they did to the poor matchup in StarCraft 2. But I have a friend who is hosting a tournament for StarCraft 2. Element Feeney. And it is, the thread here is called Scarlet versus You in this StarCraft 2 section. Now, I thought it would be hilarious if anybody from StarCraft 1 decided to participate in this. What it is Scarlet, the female pro gamer, is going to 1v2 you in Archon mode. Basically, you can both control the army at the same time versus a one opponent, which is going to be Scarlet. And okay, so if you guys can find a friend and 2v1 and defeat Scarlet, I will put a $50 bounty on her head, and you guys will be able to split that among yourselves if you want, because there's 2 of you versus her. So I'm going to put a $50 bounty on Scarlet. If you guys can prove to me that you beat her by giving me the VOD, then I will throw money your way. That's just going to be my random support towards that tournament. And yeah, that's that. Okay, let me not distract you with anything else other than StarCraft 1 excellence now. ElkY versus Legionnaire. This is going to be from Liquibition. Game number 7. Yes, a best of 7 has been played. And it is 3-3 tied up between ElkY and Legionnaire. Just to set the tone. We're on the map, Guillotine. So Guillotine back in February 4th, 2004, Game 7 in the Liquibition. We have our Terran player ElkY versus our Protoss player Legionnaire. And let's go ahead and grab this game and start it up. Liquid Game 7, yes. Excuse me there for coughing on the microphone. I do like to keep it professional. Alright guys, welcome to BisuDagger's weekly number 10. Thank you for participating in this milestone as I do cast with you. It is a blast. I apologize I wasn't here last week. I was in New York City. Why? Because I like to subject myself to people who do not care about whether you exist or not. And I saw some tall buildings too, so that's pretty kick-ass. And yes, so Scarlet is really good. She is a really good pro gamer. And so, guys, we have our 2 players here. We're going to have, it is going to be ElkY, our Terran player at the top right, and Legionnaire, our Protoss player at the top left. Alright, I'm just getting everything all in sorts. And let's set this up the fastest speed. Good God, we don't want to watch this game on fast mode. That would be way too slow. We've got games to cast. So, 2002, let me add my thoughts. We just watched Artosis versus Rekrul. And Rekrul took a really late natural. But then he did what Protosses should do in the mid-game, is expand and expand and expand. So, Protoss was a little bit different in the sense of his TvP because he got the Observer first before he expanded. Observer first expansion. No Zealot. Skips the Zealot. Goes to Cybernetics Core. Meanwhile, Artosis walls off his base. He decides that he's going to go for a Supply Depot, Barracks Supply Depot. He's going to get a gas. And then he went for 2 factory. So he went for a 2-fact build. Tanks first, followed by siege mode, and then got the expansion at his natural command center and kind of worked his way slowly from there, but stayed on 2 bases for a really long time. Both players ended up getting either a dropship or a shuttle that didn't do too much, and then in the late game we saw an Arbiter or 2 to kind of help take Rekrul ahead in that game. So that's the summary of what we saw in the last game here. What are we going to see from Legionnaire? As the Protoss player, we already see that there's a gateway and a gas on its way. This is standard here too. Nothing to kind of, you know, irk us a little bit, raise an eyebrow. There's not a second gateway here, so it's not a cheese. We see the Cybernetics Core coming down right now. Meanwhile, everything normal for ElkY here at the top right. Now, we are on Guillotine, so I'm going to go ahead and pause. For those of you who don't know this 2004 map, let's go ahead and reveal it and talk about this game. Oh, you guys can't see it. I forgot to bring it up. We just started anything with action anyway. So here we go. So look at this. Guillotine is set up as a 4-player map. So at the top right, we have the Terran player here, of course, and there's expansion, or there's a main base down at the bottom right, bottom left, and then a top left here in this corner is the 4th base location that you could spawn at. Looking inside the middle here, you know, instead of like Fighting Spirit, where there's just kind of that one single middle of the map expansion that you could take later in the game, this actually has a nice splitting mechanism here where you could be completely map split and have really aggressive expansions that can easily be taken down by either opponent. You know, I imagine this territory here could be taken with some siege tanks. Meanwhile, the natural base, that's where things get a little bit interesting. The natural base, is it going to be here at this top location, or is it going to be down here? Both players are not going to have an easy natural. Let's just go ahead and throw that out because you're going to be so separated. So setting back into play mode, turn off reveal map. Alright, everything is still normal coming up here, and I apologize for you guys missing the first minute of the game. Or 2 minutes, I'll say. but it was just workers mining anyway, right? If you want to hear a droll interpretation of how the game starts, listen to Chill's neutral cast, because that is actually pretty fun. Let's see here. All right, I got everything good to go. So yeah, you guys are seeing ElkY here on the screen. He's going for Marines first, and this is interesting. So we didn't see any. Well, I think we saw one early Marine here for Artosis in the last game to kind of scout out. But we're seeing that a couple Marines are going to come out, which means that I would assume ElkY will get a bunker and decide to put his Marines in there to just kind of guard off this front area. But because he does have the Terra Factory on the way, he could have gone for a wall off instead of getting these Marines and just gone with like one Marine behind the wall if he wanted to. But of course, when you spawn at this location, units are going to spawn to the left. So if he did wall off here, his Marine would actually spawn outside the wall, which is a menace in its own. You know what we can see here from Legionnaire, the first worker to come out here and possibly go... No. This is a scouting pylon. Is he not getting the expansion there? Crazy. Let's look inside this base. So just like Rekrul did in the 2002 game, we're seeing in 2004, 2 gate before expansion. Only once we get into maps where you have a ramp natural and you can guard from the top and expand down, and choke pointed natural bases where you have either a bridge or 2 bridges coming across, is where we see that players feel more confident, Protoss players feel more confident taking the Nexus before getting a second gateway. But instead we're seeing, oh my god, this is a 3rd gateway. This is going to be crazy. Remember, this is the Liquibition game number 7. ElkY or Legionnaire is going to get knocked out here. And this makes sense. Because we have the Citadel of Doom, this is a Dark Templar style build. This is actually accurate. So instead of taking the Nexus, which I guess he could have taken a Nexus instead of an additional gateway here, but you do kind of take a faster extra gateway when you do these DT style builds here. But this is whoa, he actually has 4 probes on gas here. So that's pretty interesting too, trying to get out as much gas as possible, I guess. It's pretty insignificant that he is mining with the extra gas. So we're going to see ElkY moving out here with a small force, and he's going to try and do some damage. But the problem is that there's going to be Dark Templar out soon. And the Dark Templar... Oh! Okay, so Spider Mines are done. This is great. With Spider Mines done, as long as they can block the path and vultures are available, then these DTs aren't going to be able to do too much damage. We got to watch this, though. The first 2 DTs are coming out. Is ElkY going to see it? Legionnaire. Oh! Legionnaire attacks. He's just going straight for the units. But the mines. That mine taking out the Marine instead of going to the Dragoon. That Marine block was brutal. Okay, this Dragoon has to tank. It has to tank both of them. It can absorb both shots, and that's what happens here. Now we're going to see another DT going for another potential harassment. So whatever was actually happening over here, because there was yellow up in that location, has been canceled. And basically ElkY's saying, okay, I've got to stay inside my main base. There's not much I can do. Oh my god, he got a DT in here. He got the DT in here. What are you doing? Great balls of fire. Where are the Spider Mines here to clean this up? There's no detection. The engineering bay is not done. There's no there's no academy. The Spider Mine killing off the SCVs. This is such a go-su Dark Templar. Already up to 5 kills. He's gonna track again. He tracks again, getting the SCV count down. He's sitting at 14 SCVs. Oh god, you gotta love DT rushes. So exciting. Guillotine, and it looks like Legionnaire is cutting the head off ElkY. Alright, way to make that map name relevant, right? Okay, so the DT making his way across one more time. We're seeing, it looks like there's a clear open path. He can work his way up here and his way across here. It is possible that the DT could make it inside this base. Meanwhile, what? Okay, the barracks is actually landed over here and it's building Marines. So ElkY's just going to go for a straight up counterattack. He has a decent amount of vultures. He's going to see if he can maybe catch these units off guard with this Marine here too. It's just going to add more units to this flame. What can ElkY do to actually win this? Legionnaire has a pretty good hold. That pylon plus the Dragoons with their range are going to be in a pretty good spot here. Let's go back inside the main base. This is where all the damage is done. 6 kills already so far. This is just really, really sad. You know, ElkY knew he had the spider mines to deal with this situation. All he needed to do was cover this up. I would actually have suggested a supply depot here with a spider mine or 2 over here. Imagine if he built a supply depot or landed his barracks over here to just kind of choke off that wall so he didn't have to cover so much of an area. I mean, that would have played off a lot better. That DT with the 6 or 7 kills, maybe more, by the time it died, is finally out of the picture. The SCV count, though, is so low, 13 SCVs to 29 probes. And we can see that the 3 gateways just going to be in constant production at this point. The observer's out too, and I would imagine that an expansion could be followed up here at any time. And look at that, we have a Scantid on the map. Oh, the wonderful Scantid. This barracks does get lifted as that marine production was just way too slow and insignificant to continue to produce marines down there. If ElkY comes back, and ElkY is one of the great foreign players and legendary players, you know, it's possible if anybody that he could do it. It was basically, I believe, like Gur and then ElkY and the lineage of dominant foreign players. So yeah, back in 2004. But Legionnaire is actually a really good Protoss player too, and he had his reign of domination back in the foreign StarCraft 1 scene too. And actually, I believe he played a year or 2 ago, and not the Legacy maps, but there was another tournament. I can't remember. It was by like Artosis XP, I believe, hosted that tournament, and we had a lot of fun legendary players that came out and participated in that. It was really cool. Actually, Cloud participated in that too. I can't remember all the names right now off the top of my head. Too many StarCraft 1 names to remember. The Nexus finally is coming up here. I still kind of question the motive of this pylon other than forward scouting pylon for drops, but he didn't really need it. He didn't need the pylon there, and it turned out to just kind of be something that's in the way. But you know what? Cool. He could build a photon cannon here. It's not going to really block these guys from mining, so that's not going to be too bad too. So Terran's getting some armies starting to build up here, but no additional command center. Nothing to expand with. In fact, this engineering bay is starting to get pretty low. He's going to have to watch out for that. I love that these Dragoons are on the map, and they're looking for every spider mine that they can pick off. Try and shrink down the vision of the Terran player. That's always really important here. No upgrades for ElkY so far. He can't even afford an armory at this point. He doesn't have SCVs that are mining either. So, I mean, this is just bad all around for him, as he is not having his best game 7. A game 7, by the way. If you play a best of 7, it's so exhausting when you finally get to that ace match. That's why I don't question why Legionnaire went for the DT build. Especially think about Jongbi's game number 5 versus Fantasy, where he actually went. Actually, it was Flash, I believe. Jongbi's game number 5 versus Flash, where he went for a DT build on the best DT map ever, and was able to knock him out of one of the final OSLs. He did actually do DTs against Fantasy too. It was just all around sad how easily Jongbi got away with those DT builds. Too bad indeed. So we can see that the shuttle is out and available. Where is he going to go for the drops? I mean, we have the extra command center here. There are no turrets. Turret light. Why? Because you can't spare the extra 75 minerals when it's more important to get vultures out. The factory this factory is not really contributing to the overall army supply right now, as the income has just been so low. It is a mystery though, how it's only 85 supply to 54, but that is a significant difference. I just think that it's because this Nexus was so late. We can actually see that there's still quite a few probes that aren't on the mineral line here. So even though there's 38 probes, not optimal mining so far from both these players. It almost seems like this is a broken replay, and this is a really, really old replay. So I'm going to assume that everything is okay. We can see that there is a probe transfer here. Anybody want to guess that this is a broken replay? Because there's no nexus. Oh, why would Legionnaire long distance mine? We're gonna speed this up. We've already seen how this game will go. Think we have 2 more. Yep. Okay. So that was kind of a mess at the end, but we're gonna see that ElkY does call today. Legionnaire is going to be the winner here, and that's 2 Protoss games to 0 Terran. And we're seeing over the years, apparently, Protoss domination. Well, let's jump ahead 4 more years now and go to 2008. And we're going to be watching Draco versus Cloud, one of my favorite Protoss players of all time. I really love Draco. All right. See, I brought this up right away. Wasn't going to let myself forget. Can't allow that to happen. Let's see here. Did I have anything else to tell you guys? The 2017 Gauntlet series, maybe I could talk about that. Let's see here. You guys didn't hear that under my breath, did you? Do I have to? Did I pique your interest? Do I have to talk about what is coming in 2017? Potentially, I'm so close to getting a sponsored 2017 Gauntlet series. I'm thinking it'll run for as many weeks as I honestly could get it sponsored for. But let's just start with a small number, like 6 weeks would be pretty cool. If I was able to pull this off, or at least get the small funds for it. If you guys don't know how the Gauntlet series works, I will have to explain it to you shortly. But basically, if you play 1 best of 7, 2 top players, and the winner gets to play in the next week, and they get to keep playing in the following week after following week. And there's going to be bounties on the players, bonus prizes when you defeat them, bonus prizes if you get win streaks. It's going to be fun. All right, Draco versus Cloud. All right, and this is the best description ever for why we should watch this game. This is called From the Golden Days of Polish Glory. And this is actually a replay contributed by In Control, one of the last remaining players on EG. Oh, you guys didn't know that? Yeah. J-Dog has now officially retired, and now he's not with EG. So it is just Machine and In Control. In Control will be casting at BlitzCon, and so go ahead and support him at the end of the week if you want to participate in the BlitzCon fun. Other than that, they do have their own respective streams, and I always love to give people shout outs. So we're on Neo Arkanoid. Let's give this a pause one more time. For people who do not remember Neo Arkanoid from 2008, this map. Actually, if you guys don't know, Neo Arkanoid was played by 2 professional players. I believe it was Zero versus Last. Zero versus last week. I casted this game, or no, 2 weeks ago on Thursday. I casted a Neo Arkanoid game, and it was one of the most fun games ever. So if you missed that cast, please go back and watch it. It is the last game of that cast. Okay. And it may have been 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Just watch all of my casts. That's the only way to find them. So here's the deal. This is basically an island map. At the start, everything is blocked off. There's giant Protoss temples here. There's a Chrysalis blocking here. Temples and generators blocking here. There's no way to get to the middle without killing a bunch of neutral buildings. And then to get your opponent, you have to kill even more neutral buildings. Oh my god, what a ridiculous map. Who was smoking crack when they made this? That's always the question though. Who's smoking the crack? Okay. So we do have Draco versus Cloud. Cloud going to be our Terran player at the top right here. Draco down at the bottom right. Welcome guys again as we go into game number 3 of this TvP Brief History in Time of Foreign StarCraft 1. Is my weekly number 10. Big news next Tuesday, by the way. Big news. This will affect everybody and everyone. A closed open in the chat says, I'm smoking crack. Good for you. There is a woman, a well-off woman, who was giving special sleepy time injections to her child. Injections of heroin. No, this is not a lie. This is a 40-year-old woman who wanted her children to sleep better, so she's been injecting them with heroin. Yeah, shut the rats up and let them trip like Charlie the Unicorn. Oh, boy. Don't get me started on parenting. Last night, 9 o'clock at night, a kid dressed up as Darth Vader. I wanted to punch him like Luke Skywalker wanted to punch his father. Because it's 9 o'clock at night. And no, I'm sorry. It was later than 9. This is, I believe, 9:45 at night. And this kid is ringing the doorbell constantly for me to answer it. And I'm like, doesn't Halloween start at like 6 at night and end at 8? Go home. But this kid's parent was driving the kid around to get whatever last bit of candy they needed to enjoy themselves. Oh boy, oh boy. What are we gonna do? Okay, so let's think about this. 2004, 2002, we saw kind of similar openings for the Terran player, and no, I would say it's pretty different. So in 2002, we saw double fact from Artosis and 2-gate observer from Rekrul. And game number 2 on 2004, we saw a DT rush off 3 gates, fast gas against a barracks factory opening into vultures with a small vulture tank marine timing SCV timing push that got thwarted because the DTs just wrecked everything. So those were the 2 games that we saw so far. Let's start identifying what our build orders are now that we're 3 minutes into this game. So we can see that on Neo Arkanoid, you need air. But for a Terran player, as we saw in my cast a couple weeks ago, you can just expand pretty quickly because it's better to get the faster command center and be able to mine from these extra minerals over here. Of course, getting the extra gas is going to be huge too. So we're seeing that the gas is coming up after the barracks and command. Well, actually the gas came first. So when command center, gas, barracks is the opening here on this map. Meanwhile, for Protoss, which I haven't casted Protoss in a long time, maybe 3 or 4 years on this map. So I can't remember what a Protoss is supposed to do, but the probes killed off these chrysalises here because the Nexus has to be laid down close. The command center not so much because they can lift and flow over here, but the probes were actually forced. But you know, it was actually a zealot and 2 dragoons. So Draco here is actually going to use a ground army to force his way through the map and start paving an attack path to his opponent. If this were a TVZ, maybe we just see it faster air because, you know, the way that mutas go, you tech up to them so quickly, you don't have time to make a path and have enough anti-air to defend back at home and out across the map. But both these players are actually sticking to the ground and starting to just clear out everything. I love this path here. So Draco, he's opened up this one little leg here. He's going to be able to get to this power generator and attack over here. Or, if he wants to, he can kind of work on this power generator also, but it's going to take longer to get in here. He's going shortest path possible to attack over there. Meanwhile, this power generator is slowly getting low, about half health, with 1 Dragoon sitting idle. The probe count up to 26. Both these players were at 2008, so I would tell you that I expect the macro to be pretty good from these players. Look at this, the Terran starport on the way, but the bad thing for Cloud here is that the starport actually might not pay off because we can see that the units are already making their way to the front. Look at this, here it comes. The first bunker is being built up. A couple bunkers actually being built up right away. There is a decent amount of Marines, 6 in total here to defend at the front. Oh, the Protoss Temple's so close. It's in the red. It won't burn down though. It's not a Terran building. So Cloud has actually put himself in a perfect position to finally be able to defend at the front here. He's actually brought some SCVs here too, preparing himself for some mass repair if he needs to defend. So let's look here. The starport, nothing is coming out of that. The siege tech is on its way. For me to say that more clearly here. Turret at the front here too. Doesn't have to worry about detection. Actually, there's no TT on its way. Although, of course, I would be clairvoyant if I just guessed. Let's confirm. The Citadel of Dune has not been completed. This has 4-gate tech off 2 bases. The temples are going to get cleared out completely because you want as much surface area as you can to push in. You don't want a single file into siege tanks. But between this, actually, Cloud Sim City is beautiful. He did such a great job of putting this up. The supply depot not finished because there was a chance that he may have just wanted to cancel it there and get some mineral refunds. But it looks like he's just going to opt for the food supply that supply depot will give him by completing it. So this is the deal. Now another opening has occurred. Or is about to occur here at this location. So this is where the 3rd base is going to come up. The command center's already been built here. And Cloud knows that he's going to have to defend at this location. So he's starting to build his Sim City out here for the defense. Meanwhile, the Chrysalises are about to completely get destroyed here at this 3rd base location. Another Nexus is about to come up for Draco. Cloud playing a solid game so far. Hasn't killed off this Chrysalis area yet. Rather surprised. I know that eventually you just want to have that command center at its proper spot. This is going to be long distance mining too. It doesn't take too long to send a couple Marines over to kill that off. But right now he can't spare the extra Marines. He knows that this is going to be difficult as the Zelnaga Temple has been taken out. And he's going to have to go for the defense. This the SCV, it knows it has been killed off though. Initial damage can occur here. A quick lift for the command center knowing that he needs to get brought away. And he's going actually to the left instead of to the right because he wanted to bring it to the quickest defensive location on the high ground here in case he could somehow keep it alive. But it will burn down. It is going to die. Draco has secured that kill off. See the Nexus almost halfway done here. Couple of Dragoons sitting in the middle here too. The Zealot on a blitz to kill off this SCV. SCV, will it get its gas home? Yes, it returns the fruit basket. What am I saying here? Yeah, that looks like a basket of fruit. Let's not lie here. You know, one of those Jamaican style baskets that the ladies like to carry around. You can carry laundry around in those baskets too. I guess that makes it a little less badassy than a Vespine canister. If any of those spill though, there is a chance that one of these SCVs could turn into Alex Mack. Oh boy, do you guys remember Alex Mack, or are you not as old as I am? Nothing cooler than being able to turn into a puddle and just kind of work your way under doorways and sneak into different locations. Who knew that she would need to infiltrate so many places? Oh, what a good show. What a good show indeed. Okay, so we can see that there's a lot of SCVs that are mining here. And that means that I missed these tanks here. I apologize. This was actually pretty subtle against this lane. But that was beautiful. So I'm pausing here because look, these tanks right here in this little niche location can actually do some damage here. I believe that maybe that gateway would be in range too. And I imagine that the same damage can be dealt if the tanks get brought over to that location also. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. Looks like with the shuttle out though, there can be the chase of these of the dropship along with the 2 tanks here. The tank's going to deal out some initial damage, but it looks like the Dragoons are going to end up... Oh! Is this dropship going to get away? 17 health with no chase on the way. And it looks like the 2 tanks are going to be able to survive. A great job by Cloud. Oh, but you can see that the shuttle is coming in. The action's starting to pick up, guys. Here come the initial storms. Oh, big miss storm here. The SCV's getting pulled just in time. Get the High Templar back. Get them. Oh, you left your buddy behind. Not for ire. Not for ire indeed here. Meanwhile, the SCVs do return to their mining location here. 44 SCVs in total. Let's look at this. Still no 3rd base up at the top left. We can see that a random pylon, possibly a new expansion, going to be going over here. Draco loves these expansions. Just starting to explode with them here as he continues to take them at the top left and the bottom left. He's cleared out everything. It's exactly what he needs here. I keep seeing this white speck here and thinking that there's a possible drop, but no, it's an observer that is brilliantly blended in with the carnage from a previous battle on this planet. Meanwhile, the Dragoon's still sitting in here for defense. Draco's had enough of those tanks, and he doesn't want to have to shuttle anything around. So sitting those 2 Dragoons in there, that's absolutely fine. You see that everything is still alive here too. He didn't actually take any true health damage on this Nexus either. So that's actually a pretty good win for him too. Oh, now we see some damage coming down here. The white that's disappearing though is actually just going to be from the Chrysalis here. I'm just reading the comment from the thread right now, and it's related to the Alex Mack thing. Too bad her clothes always morphed with her. You know, there was an X-Files episode where a guy wanted to turn invisible. That was a wish that he took from a genie, but this was like a genie who took things too literal. And so only he could turn invisible, but he had to strip all his clothes off in order to be truly invisible. But the problem was he was crossing traffic and a truck didn't see him and he got hit by a truck. And then he died because no one could see him to help him feel better. I'm sorry, spoilers for anybody who didn't watch X-Files 26 years ago. But that's exactly what happened. The corpse just laid on the side until someone riding a bike ran into the invisible corpse and tripped over it, which was another hilarious feat there. So we're seeing that 3 shuttles are brought in here. Draco opting for some heavy air. Well, again, as I brought in earlier, you know, Arbiters come later. Arbiters come so much later back in the day. 2008 is when you started to see the evolution of a lot more Arbiter play from carrier play or anything else you would have in the late game for Protoss. But with this, it's carrier. We can see that the fleet beacons here, was especially when you see 2 Stargates like that, you start to think, oh, this is going to be a carrier game. Better just keep an eye on that. These Vultures trying to push their way forward. Cloud having a decent game still. He's holding on here. He's got 13 tanks in the background. But, oh my god, Draco going Gosu, taking out so much. He even has the DT in the back here. No scan. No scan is going down. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. Ah, he finally sees him. He does get the kill off, but not soon enough. That was deadly indeed. Still the push is coming forward here. You can see that Cloud, though. He has 99 supplied to 146. Draco has an expansion down at the bottom left. He's got some gateways with DTs up here at the top left. So much going for him so far, even Dragoons that aren't attacking right now. This is wonderful. Oh, here comes the shuttle Doom drop. He's got himself loaded up. Going to be transporting locations here very shortly, I'm sure. We can't see that the command center has been taken at the top left. Really integral here, too, because the minerals, while you actually have a lot more than the standard minerals at the main base location, they are actually mining out. They're getting pretty low here. Draco looks like he's got another Nexus up here at the top left. Good for him. Good for him. It looks like Protoss, I randomly selected these, I promise. I didn't pre-screen any of these replays. But so far, we have a 2-0 lead of Protoss versus Terran. And it may just be a 3-0 with the way that Draco's playing. Okay, look at this. The initial carriers are on the way. 2 of them almost done here. And this is going to be insane. Oh, boy! It looks like a hole has been dug in here, though. The tank's starting to push in on the front of this third Nexus here location. Some Goliaths actually in here too, but not enough Goliaths to worry about, I mean, to deal with the carriers when the carriers do finally come out. Of course, the interceptors are going to have to be built. These drops are going to be really nice. Just shuttles coming in here pretty quickly, and these tanks eliminated right away. The Zealots kill Goliaths actually pretty quickly too. But remember, the DPS for Goliaths, not too bad. 12 damage on these autocannons, but they do have 2 guns. So that's kind of good for them too. This has been an eliminated base. Cloud actually having a strong push here, a stronger push than I would have imagined. Now, in this entire game, we actually haven't seen, our entire series, we haven't seen from a Terran player a +1 attack or armor upgrade. Artosis may have gotten one by the end of that game, but hardly noticeable because Rekrul kind of turned things around in the end there. If you missed that one, I'd say game 1 was the game of the night so far here. But we're seeing that that this is turning into something special here too. Because somehow Cloud's been able to push his way in, eliminate this third base. He doesn't have any harass tactics going on at the bottom left or the top left here though. And he may be thinking that this is it. Now this is brutal here because his core carrier army that he was trying to create here could be taken out if he does lose these Stargates. He's not going to be able to make too many carriers. Only 2 have been completed. And these DTs have costed so many scans. We can see that actually he's out of scans at that base location. He still has quite a few between the last 2 command centers that I checked there. So not too bad, not too bad. This is it though. Oh my god, the Stargate's getting taken out. Cloud pushing forward like a Gosu here. He has a ton of Goliaths actually mixed in here. Less Vulture production. And these carriers, even though he has the 8 interceptors all added up inside of here, he doesn't have much to deal with this. You can see that the supply count is finally starting to even out. Where's the rest of the army here? It's kind of camping out at the back. The DTs need to continue to force these scans out because that would be integral in actually combating this army, as if he could eliminate scan. A nice pool of mines would actually help him out here too. It's got to be a sick mine drag though. Once the gateways get taken out, Draco's lost this game. He doesn't have the time to rebuild gateways, especially when he's going to have to re-macro such a large army to be able to deal with this. I can't believe how quickly Cloud transitioned into these Goliaths, but it's a constant stream coming forward here. You see that's still 0-0. Unfortunate for Terran mech players just wanting to see some sick upgrades on these units. There goes the main Nexus. Alright, so there's a ton of units actually trying to escape from this bottom right. Now, given that there's still 63 probes, the mining is still really good. Oh my god! So it looks like Draco's going to go for it. He's going to go for the base switch and take the top left location. I don't know if this is going to be possible, but he's going for it because, you know what? Cloud actually hasn't taken a 4th base. His initial 3 bases are going to start to run low, and this is the only one that's really fresh. The natural is about halfway mined out at this point too. And Draco's okay with this. He's going to give it up. Look at that. He's actually already mined out his natural base, so that's no big deal for him too. He's got all these probes that can be transferred over here. It's going to take a while for this army, as large as it is, for Cloud to start knocking down and busting through some doors. Look at this, the initial carriers here. There were only 2, and they're trying to micro their way away, getting some extra damage, but most importantly, staying alive as they continue to survive in this game. Carriers are going to be so effective because these non-destructible walls are going to continue to give them places to escape. As Kid July says, yes, this is quite a horrible map, but it adds for entertainment games. And that's kind of what we saw when we were watching, it wasn't Overwatch, what was the other one from the ASL? It wasn't Overwatch, I can't remember, but the other awkward map in the ASL was Tayback Mountains. Was a crazy one too. Everybody thought the imbalance was going to be so unbearable that no one would have fun watching the games on that map. Turned out to be the best map of the tournament, and so skeptics, including me, were honestly shocked. But I did not mind. If you guys missed out, XKCD and I casted the entire ASL. That is a paid cast, so it is an official cast. Alright, so I love that these carriers are getting so much damage done here. Cloud, he's going to have to pay attention here and focus on the carriers when he can, but otherwise just kind of take down these interceptors. The mineral count still is getting soaked down so quickly by Draco here. He's kind of just living on the edge as he tries to survive at the top left. This is a strong push coming in here. We saw so many Goliaths that were inside the main base here. Incredible that Draco's been able to get so many gateways and you know, army creation buildings here to be able to combat the mech army of Cloud. Oh, look at that. 1-1 has finally completed here. So as we go 20 minutes into this game, we are seeing that upgrades have become a thing for Cloud, knowing that it's really important that he competes with the +1, +2 attack. +2 attack's really what's going to be killer here with these units. Oh, look at all the GTs coming in here, trying to get some quick kills on these tanks. Look how many tanks are already coming down. The scan has been here, but it's still, the units are dying off so quickly. All these DTs killing off everything. This is incredible. What a turn of events here. 6 DTs are completely wiping out the entire army of Cloud, and Cloud's just continuing to move these units in. And they can't kill off these DTs quick enough, even with the scans. The units are just evaporating here. What is it? A total of 46 damage with the +2 upgrade. And that was just some brutal massacre there, as Draco is somehow fighting his way back in. This is the way of the Polish indeed. What an incredible game, as we're seeing Draco just go for his hold here. He still has these 2 healthy bases, remember that. It may actually become a point where Draco has a lead in this game because of how many expansions he has. What is Cloud to do? He's mined out the bottom right. He only has this up here at this location. And I think that Draco has done it. He's held this push off. Cloud needed to win right there. And with these last remaining units trying to go for the hold, I seriously think that Draco is going to take this game. I predicted the Protoss win about 15 minutes ago. But Cloud has really impressed me with the strength of Terran, showing exactly what he can do here. Of course, when you're low on minerals, but you've got a lot of gas, it's time to go for High Templar, obviously. And imagine if he can get the SCVs killed off here. Let's go ahead and watch this shuttle. Shuttle, go! Go, we want to see your sick drops. We don't know what the energy count is, but I would assume if he's going to be moving out, that storm would be available here. I promise you I don't have a coke problem. I have like the worst itch on the brim of my nose. And I hate that I had to scratch it. Okay. Oh, look at those storms repelling everything backwards here. We still don't have that 6th storm that we're waiting for go off. Where did that shuttle go? I think that I think that he unloaded it to be able to defend against that push. There's not much left. 92 supply again. We've seen the supply ratio before, but Cloud for the first time actually can't equalize that ratio. These bases taken out. You can see that there's actual mining here. Hey, this isn't bad. 3 probes on this gas that has 840 left. So that's still really good too. The next expansion is being worked on for Draco, as Cloud is still sitting in limbo. Yeah, Storm is so good in StarCraft 1. I love it. I love that it's spread out. It covers a larger surface area and it lasts longer. When you watch Storm in StarCraft 2, it's to me something that was supposed to be a really intimidating thing. Oh, unintimidating in StarCraft 2. And I watch StarCraft 2. I try not to trash the game. But Storm is actually one of the things that'll get me going on, because it's just like an instant, like, targeted area and then done. It's the same way that I think the EMP range was actually really short at one time too, and it didn't hit a lot of units. But Storm specifically, is just one of those sad things. So the command center actually has been lifted. Yeah, the command center has been lifted over here, and so that's actually going to be a loss of scans. That's a huge deal. So no scans available there. Let's look here. 1 scan available here. So there's only 1 scan left for Cloud. A single DT could really win this game. Or 2 DTs could really win this game. Especially as these spider mines start to get cleaned up. This army supply is huge. He's maxed out, in fact. A couple Archons in with this mix. I'm okay with that because he doesn't need to be all High Templar. Oh, Cloud's going to call it. GG, that's going to be it. That's it for game number 3. Alright, I didn't know how long these games are going to go. We're at an hour and a half roughly into the cast. And I have a 4th game prepared. In fact, I already set up scene number 10. with Crystal, Liquid Crystal, by the way, versus Gordongekko. And purely because I love the name Gordongekko, we're going to go ahead and watch one more game. So guys, thank you for watching, and stay as I load up the next game. I've already got it on screen, so no delay at all. Let's go ahead and get this rolling. Hope everybody's having a good week. Easy win. Not from the description that I read, where it didn't sound like an easy win, although the replay says that. Okay, guys, we are December 25th, Christmas Day 2009. Looks like two avid gamers wanted to hash it out. They had some disputes on Christmas Day, fighting around the world. So we're going to have Liquid Crystal spawning at the top right, and then Gordongekko down at the bottom left. Okay, let me do this one last time. For those of you who don't remember this map from 2009 or 2008, 7, 6, 5, guys, it is the map Python. It's weird spawns. You can spawn here, 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 or here. Yes, it's a 4-spawn map. And in fact, you can spawn like super close by air to your opponent. Alright, let's return this. Let's get the speed up and going here. Alright, so your Terran player Gordongekko. What are we going to see out of him? We watched Arkanoid. And Arkanoid is was one of the weird maps where we're not going to see you know, a standard TvP. But hopefully we'll see a more of a standard TvP, because that was the whole point of this cast, is to kind of see what the standard builds were over time. We've kind of seen two random games, one a DT rush and one oh, why would I get banned? This is interesting. Gordongekko already starting with the trash talk, trying to distract Crystal. Gotta ask, any J-Dog boxer in control anytime soon? Okay, so what I'm thinking is that if I don't get new replays from Zero for Thursday's cast, I'm going to have a J-Dog special cast next Thursday. Maybe even get replays on his new games if I can get in contact with the right people. But other than that, we'll watch the best games of all time from J-Dog. And I think that can make a pretty good Thursday cast. Let's go ahead and put that on the schedule. Rekrul got banned. No, Rekrul's not banned from Team Liquid. What's going on here? Oh yeah, it looks like people want a J-Dong special. So okay, yeah, let's get nostalgic. Let's do J-Dong on Thursday. It's gonna be fun. I've got maybe a few fun things that I could do. So is 424 really J-Dong? I mean, do we even have to confirm that 424 is J-Dog? Listen, I'm going to do a specific sign language signal. I'm going to either wink or not wink in the next 10 seconds. And if in the next 10 seconds I wink at you, then you can confirm that 424 is really J-Dog. 10-second counter starting now. Okay, I'm sure by now you've put together whether or not J-Dong is 424, and we can leave it at that. But maybe I'll give you an official announcement on Thursday if you were not able to conclude from my wink or not wink right there. Welcome, Evolution, Intrepid, Mr. Eon Black. Give me more content. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are here. And of course, we have our own Liquid Crystal. I actually am not familiar with Liquid Crystal. I feel really terrible about this because I'm familiar with most things Team Liquid. But a lot of my knowledge really starts to get strong in 2009 onward. Of course, I did watch all of Bisu's old games from 2006. I can tell you all about that. But I have sunglasses. I do. No, this is part of my eyes. You didn't see that? You didn't see the blink? Oh, this is like when I forget to turn my screen on, isn't it? Alright, so let's see what kind of opening we have here. Like we saw in the first normal game back in 2002. Two-fact opening, versus a 2-gate obs opening here. And it shows us so far in Python. What the hell are we seeing here? Oh my god. Okay, guys. So this is a gate, 1-gate ranged Stargate opening. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, meanwhile, we're seeing from Terran a vast command center. So basically a siege expand here. Because we do have siege mode on the way. So this is looking like a standard siege expand. A blink and a wink is the same thing. I mean, you can blink one eye and then blink the other eye. Let's be honest. Yeah, let's keep it up there. What is this? So the engineering bay being built out in the open. It's nothing cheesy. It's nothing cheesy. It's just you build it out there and then you lift it and you start to scout your opponent like an overlord here. Okay. Oh my god, a 1-base fleet beacon. What the hell is wrong with you, gordongekko? Gordongekko, are you going to be able to combat this? Crystal is coming out, treating you like garbage, and saying, I'm going to win because I am the ultimate liquid crystal here. Oh man, these goons actually getting killed off. One here, the tank didn't get the kill. Who did get the kill? Sounded like it would be a tank kill. Oh, there it is. The Master Sergeant up on the high ground, getting that nice long range. Can you believe that? All the way over here. So broken. How can a unit hit things that are off the screen? That's not fun. Alright, StarCraft HD going to be announced next week. J-Dong is actually in California. He's going to be there for BlitzCon. So I would expect that, one, he actually might participate in a Heroes of the Storm like team matchup for fun. I don't think that he's going to play any actual Overwatch games because he's not an FPS player. But whatever Brood War announcement is going to be coming from next week will occur from with J-Dong being involved. So are you saying that someone says Liquid Drone, there's good Liquid Drone replays? Oh yeah, of course. I thought you were saying that Liquid Drone was possibly Liquid Crystal. I don't think so. I think they're different people. Okay, so respect the gate here. We're seeing that, what the hell? So the engineering bay made it over here to over here and then landed, and that was it. gordongekko, you are a mystery to me. We have the upgrade on its way. Why not scouts though? That's my big question here. No +1 air upgrade though. +1 air is actually pretty cheap and fast to research, so I would have expected that. Yeah, I missed the TSL days, the TL attack, ponytails, all of that. All the goodness, indeed. I actually haven't read all the ponytails. Yeah, I need to go back and read them. So we've had undefeated Protoss today. There's been 3 Protoss wins to 0 Terran wins. Do you think that this single carrier is going to win the game for Liquid Crystal, or is gordongekko going to be... I keep wanting to say Gordon Ramsay. That's exactly what this name reminds me of. I imagine that if Gordon Ramsay played StarCraft 1, this is what his name would be. Here comes the Doom carrier. And there's nothing scarier than a single carrier just coming into your base. And that's it. That's it. The one carrier build. And now we're going to see gateways and Nexus follow-up here. Look at that. Just being patient and waiting. Still, no idea. There's nothing to really combat it except for this one single Marine. There's so much ground mech, though. So much. The tanks, the vultures, they can all just go ahead and push across the map. You can see that the Liquid Crystal, though, is behind 60 supply to 82 supply. gordongekko, having that earlier expansion, is going to have that advantage here in the economy and the army size. But this push in here, that carrier, what is this carrier going to be up to now? And one carrier's worth of interceptors really does garbage amount of damage here. Oh, look at that. He can't target the turret because the barracks is on top of the turret. This is clever. I love this. This is something you see from like Flash. So he's actually keeping this turret alive because he can't click on it. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, gordongekko, he's pushing across with his vultures here. He's taking the probe count down to 26 already. So not many probes. This is brutal. gordongekko looking like he might be able to take a win for the Terran players. Is it going to be a 3-1 finals here? Meanwhile, let's look inside of this base. Where's the carrier? Where's the carrier? Has it been taken out? Oh, no, it's down here. I'm sorry. Didn't look down far enough. Of course, if you guys don't remember, I do have the colorblind issues, and this is probably one of the worst color schemes we can have. Yeah, that's better. Let's do that one here. So the carrier's down at the bottom. Observer down, up, running around here too. Oh, the Spider-Man taking out one of the Dragoons. 19 harvesters from what we saw was over 30 at one point here. And the harvesters are just continuing to work at the natural base. This carrier, though, while it's taken no damage so far, the interceptors are just not having a fun day. There are too many turrets at this point, and this one carrier can't do too much. Meanwhile, over here, what is this? gordongekko is countering weird with weird by building a starport. Where is it? Is the science facility done? Is it done? Are we going to see a cheese, or not a cheese, but like a randomly built battlecruiser style build? Oh, that would be so cool. One battlecruiser versus one carrier. No one knows who's going to win between that. It's never happened before in all the history. The capital ships are usually numerous in numbers here. Oh man, liquid crystal. Pulling back now, we can see the carrier is starting to return home. Still sitting out these two bases, 25 workers to a total of 42 workers in total now for gordongekko. And I would say there's a huge, distinct advantage there. Oh, it's going to be Wraiths! The Cloak Wraith build. Wonderful! Meanwhile, that's just a Spider-Man down there. Let's identify all the weird. Another Vulture running over here. Going to scout its own base. It's going to be like, really? Really? We're going for this? We're doing Wraiths in a TvP? We haven't seen Wraiths in a TvP since Wraiths were needed to combat Jaedong's Arbiter Carrier build. Yeah. Or not Jade. What did I say? Jaedong? I meant to say Zhongbi. I apologize, it's getting late. This is a longer cast than I'm supposed to schedule. Anyway, remember Zhongbi's games against Fantasy? Good God. Every single one of them and both the OSL finals were ridiculous. I think those might just be the most entertaining best of 5 series. Alright, look at this. So Cloaked Wraiths come in here and they just die instantly. That's hilarious. So there was no point to those. Now we're seeing that a push in with Goon's carrier again. And where's the tanks? That's the big question here. There's no tanks to defend. And if there was just a single tank or 2 tanks inside of this, then it would be a pretty easy win. A scan needs to come down to pick off this observer first. That's absolutely the most important thing. But now we're seeing this carrier along with these units again is actually going to continue to break down this natural base. Zhongbi versus 0 round of 4 2012 TVing OSL. Oh my god, yes. Yes. Basically Zhongbi versus Flash, Zhongbi versus Fantasy, Zhongbi versus 0 in those OSL tournaments are the best. That's so good. Although Fantasy versus Flash in that best of series in the TvT was one of the best TvT best of series that I have ever seen too. So much good out of the end of StarCraft 1's Kespa era. There's so much good out of this game, guys. Oh, this is gonna make me tear up a little bit. This carrier, it only has 5 kills, but it's been like the first unit built in this game, which is just what's cracking me up. Still, no more Wraiths are actually coming out of this. The Wraiths have been given up on. The economy was so much better for gordongekko. 49 SCVs. But 41 probes have been built up here too. And we're seeing that Liquid Crystal is just kind of trolling this game as Crystal continues to push forward to win here. I'm going to assume that Liquid Crystal is a he. Don't call me sexist, please. I mean, we have Brittany as a pro gamer. Brittany is like the worst name, I think, for a pro gamer, just because it's so ridiculous sounding for a dude to have a name like that. Although Toss Girl's kind of an awkward one too, considering that she is a Terran player. But maybe she likes getting thrown around. She is kind of a skinny thing, isn't she? Would be pretty easy to throw. Yeah, you know what? The comment says, Terran forgot the basic counter to anything is just go kill him. Well, actually, that Vulture / tank attack was successful here at the natural base, but once gordongekko got into the main base, it got deflected, and somehow gordongekko took his foot off the pedal, and so at that point, did not just continue to go with the I can win this game mentality. It does look like the carrier. Where's that carrier? Where is it, guys? Where is it? It's floated away, I guess. And but we know that there's at least one carrier on this map. Oh, it must be a new one. The other one's gotten taken out at this point. So a third command center has been built, and so 3 base gordongekko is going to be pretty strong gecko, indeed. Well, we can see another Nexus coming up right now. How is it that we're at 15 minutes into this game and and we've seen what we've seen here? Still, not a second Stargate has been built. It's just one Stargate, very slow production, and we've only seen a couple gateways at this point in the game too. So we're up to 3 bases at 15 minutes, but only 4 gateways have been constructed, and that's not efficient at all. Alright, so we can see that the tanks here are starting to push out. And I'm glad that gordongekko decided that tanks were important. So he's up to 4 tanks here, but these interceptors are going to get deflected now. We can see that these are unupgraded Goliaths, but the Goliaths still are in numerous numbers. The Nexus has been canceled here, and it looks like gordongekko has finally amassed himself a decent army to start pushing back and maybe hammer on the natural base here of Liquid Crystal. No more rates coming out of this. I think that gordongekko looks over at this side of the map and goes, what did I do with myself? I mean, really, why did I choose this? Wraiths are just like frail paper planes, and it's like you throw a paper plane at someone and they don't just have a squirt gun, but they have like a fire hose, and it completely knocks down the paper plane. No chance of success. Okay, so the carrier count is up to 2. This is twice as scary as it was 10 minutes ago. And I'm so glad to see that Crystal has managed to get 2 carriers. We've seen a total of 3. And even though there has been carrier production for the first 14 minutes of this game. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is why we don't like Python anymore, because all this randomness can just occur, and yet players can still succeed. There's so much mining coming down here. The SCV count is up to 57, so that's looking pretty solid too. 47, so 10 workers behind, and Liquid Crystal is about to run out of all minerals inside his main base here. A few more pylons coming up. We can see though that the supply is only just now at 130, so not even close to being able to max out supply, because the food isn't available for the Protoss player. These Goliaths though, the Goliaths are actually trying to take out the interceptors, and you don't do that unless you have a ton of Goliaths, or you have to fight over a cliff. Otherwise, you need to just bulldog in and try and take out the carriers here. The carrier is going to continue to push forward now, looking even scarier and scarier. Now up to three carriers. Now that's where you can actually start doing some significant damage. I'm not kidding here. This is what's going to happen. This looks worse than my games, and I'm F- IC Cup. Oh, Evolution, you're better than that. You're no F-. I know that. You can build a basic build order. Alright, yeah, this is crazy. Somehow gordongekko is just not macroing quick enough. He does have Goliaths built at all his base locations here. How is he just doesn't know how to engage properly enough against Liquid Crystal here. And Liquid Crystal has been trolling this entire game. A third Nexus is going to be completed very shortly, actually, so that's going to be good too. These cliffs make it pretty hard for the Goliaths to engage. They're going to have the high ground here, but the carriers should be able to escape. Oh my god, so much damage was taken on that one carrier. You can see the shields are already eliminated. Oh, getting into the yellow, gotta escape here, and no good, no good. So Liquid Crystal finally paying attention here, while gordongekko is not doing anything to control his Goliaths and is still just trying to A-move on interceptors instead of trying to get under the hull and attack these carriers here. The motherships, they need to go down. Meanwhile, we can see that the probes are finally mining at this mineral-only location. The Dragoons have stormed this base area here. There's not much in terms of supply for either one, though. It's 83 supply to 90 supply. In fact, I think that a better Terran player would actually pull half these SCVs here and just eliminate the Dragoons. Because once the Dragoons are eliminated, then you can just storm under and take out these carriers. But the carriers, one of them goes down. Oh, buddy. So we can see that no more carriers are being built. It's just more Dragoons being brought in here. But Rekrul should pretty much easily win this for gordongekko. Come on, Goliath. Yeah, look at this. So we can see that the starport is still not in use. Oh, the Zealots have been brought down here too. But there are vultures that are going to come out here to at least eliminate these Zealots. Some basic micros should be able to kill them off. These Zealots, though, killing off the Spider-Mines pretty effectively here. And these two Dragoons over at this location, too. Look at this! Look at this. So the carriers are actually going down to this third base. And this is going to be lost. gordongekko doesn't have the units and the right location to defend against this. And they're not moving fast enough. While I said it's fast by air, it's actually a long time to be able to get your units from your main base to this location. So the lift does occur on this command center. He even forces the lift on the Terran factory here. And it looks like Liquid Crystal is just going to let that go. Start focusing on getting these SCV kills. Look at this! Look at this! Perfect! The two carriers on top of these SCVs, these are going to get eliminated here. Yeah, gordongekko talking the trash, talking about people getting banned. Now Liquid Crystal has just basically, you know, easy moded this game and is still doing pretty well. I'm so saddened by the lack of carriers, though. Alright, we can see that the main base for gordongekko completely mined out here. In fact, there's an SCV that has retired, decided it's no longer doing work in this game. The rest of the SCVs, though, split between... No, just at this base here. I thought maybe that there was an additional base. This command center that landed over here has no mining. Can you believe this? The natural base almost mined out. The SCVs on the land. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't know that gordongekko and Liquid Crystal were per se considered the best foreigners. You know, Rekrul, Artosis, ElkY, Legionnaire. Ah, blah, very lame strat. LOL. You lost to it. Oh boy, what an ending. Ah. Alright, guys, that's going to be it for game number 4. I just kind of phoned it in at the end there. I'm sorry for the lack of enthusiasm. It's been a long day for me, and you know, doing a second hour of this cast is always exhausting. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching this with me. Next Thursday, it seems like we're going to have a J-Dong day. So I'm going to tell you lots of stories about J-Dong. We're going to watch lots of fun videos of J-Dong, some that you may not have even seen. We're going to talk about what he said in his interview. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a big reveal, and this is going to be awesome. Do I think J-Dong is going to come back? Yes, I think he's going to come back. Is he already come back? Is he already playing on Fish? To be determined Thursday. Alright guys, watch my VODs on YouTube if you get bored or you don't want to do anything at work. I'm always a pretty good distraction, I think. Let me go ahead and throw up the thank you here. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to play some music, get you my outro video, and everyone just take care. Have a blast.